Hello, happy Thursday. It is Thursday, February 1st, and wanted to bring a special edition of the Hosty Intel podcast. This is a special news update for some legislation that is in the works right now. Part of our job and diligence as property managers for short-term rentals is to advocate and educate. So with current legislation in the works, known as SB 24-033. I want to take a little time to dissect that, go through that, and speak on what we can do to, well, stop it. So SB 24-033, it's lodging property tax treatment. So I'll just go through a quick summary here of the bill. The bill would increase property taxes for property owners who use their property as a short-term rental by almost 400%. This could eliminate their ability to profit off of their short-term rental units. A short-term rental is defined, as we all know, as a residence that is occupied by a person or family that is also leased for overnight lodging for less than 30 consecutive days in exchange for monetary payment. And the land upon which the improvement is located may be classified as either residential, real property, or lodging property. If during the previous tax year, a short-term rental was leased for short-term for more than 90 days, then it is classified as a lodging property. So, I mean, a lot of reasons why this is negative. This would, like I said there, compound the tax up to 400 times what it is right now. So simple math, my property that I run as a short-term rental up in Woodland Park, outside the city limits, would go up about $600 per month to get to this new, tax rate that they are proposing. So 600 per month, not per year, and that would be going to the state. There's already taxes in place for local municipalities, counties, permit fees, and you're paying sales tax, and that is going back into the communities that these rentals are in. So, we're fine with that. We've been paying that. But this is just a egregious overreach of government power, whereas it's being, cloaked right now, saying it'd go towards education. And it's something that would just flatten the industry. For every house that's on the short-term rental market, about 5 jobs are fed off of that. Obviously, mine included. As a property management company, my job is heavily reliant on, well, people short-term renting their homes. And then you look at your cleaning teams, your hot tub companies, your handymen. It's a very established ecosystem that this would just decimate. Your entrepreneurs who are starting out, they are hardworking and they're vested in this community, and this would just be cutting them at the knees. And then all the small businesses that are fed off of these rentals in the neighborhoods. And there's the argument to be had too that people, like, I don't want to live on a street with 10 short-term rentals. Awesome, I don't either. Leave that up to the city and the county that you live in. Go talk to them. That is not a state override thing, and we have a lot of regulations in place. In Colorado Springs, Woodland Park just went through some. Green Mountain Falls, all around us, there are your local municipalities imposing restrictions and rules. Okay, as long as they make sense. That's another podcast. That's not what this one is about. This bill, like I said, it would just flatten the industry. It's projected about 30% of inventory would fall off the map. And like I mentioned before, with the jobs that feeds, that would just make it very hard after COVID. A lot of small businesses are still trying to make up for losses there, whereas this would just be insult to injury at that point. And another fact is about 80% of the homes that are ran as short-term rentals are locally owned in that same city, but they're Coloradans. So this would be taking money out of Coloradans' pockets and then just giving it to the state to do with as they see fit. So that's another profound number where I think oftentimes it's just painted out to these out-of-state investors. We should tax them more. That's not the case here. It's your small town people. It's your teacher in Woodland Park who has a rental to stipend her income, or your family who is teaching their kids how to run a business, and the rental is their trial run. I mean, speaking for me personally, I'm a homeowner myself, and I have a rental in Woodland Park. It's not something that I ever planned on doing, and I can tell you it's a lot of work. And we manage them. We know it day in and day out. And I think there's this false narrative pushed around that if you're owning an investment property, if you have a second home, you're well off, and we should tax you to the moon. That's not the case. I mean, if you can make your property cash flow, awesome. It's passive income, but it is a lot of work. And homeowners who are doing it privately, they know that. I mean, you are getting calls at midnight for a backed up toilet if you're not proactive about your maintenance, or even if you are, for that matter. It's just a ton of engagement and keeping the property up to the nines. That's essential in this industry. So I just want to address that false narrative that's being, I think, portrayed, that it's just easy work and everyone's just sitting on their butts collecting all these money, or all the money. And for me personally, I purchased this cabin with my stepfather about a year ago. And it's been something that was a long time goal for me to get a stream of passive income. And I mean, it's not quite passive yet because I'm still very involved. But my business is also short-term rentals. So and it was a realization for me when my father passed away, and he left a ton of debt. And I sat thinking, I'm like, hey, am I going to inherit that debt one day? You don't. There's some red tape in place where that doesn't happen. But it was still a thought that crossed my mind. And I thought then, I'm like, I never want to have my future children wondering about that same thing. I want to leave something behind other than just debt, make an impact. And that's what sparked me to get a rental and start making a portfolio, investing in the community in the state that I love. So yeah, a little background as of my why. At this point, you're probably thinking, wow, he never stops talking. So let's get into what we can do from here. There are a ton of groups out there advocating against this. The biggest is Colorado Lodging Alliance. So CLARA, I butchered that. They are facilitating an advocacy meetup at the Capitol on Tuesday of next week. So the 6th of February, meeting up at the Capitol to advocate against this, show the opposition for it, and hopefully change some things. So that is something that I would highly encourage everybody to do and take part of, because I mean, it might seem like your voice is not being heard in some of this, but if it's important, make that known. And especially in Colorado Springs, representation on the state level, it's not a whole lot. So February 6th, 8 a.m. at the Capitol, wear blue. I will post some links in the description for some resources for that. And then in addition to that, the highest and best thing that you can do is get in your local representatives' ears. If you can make it work in your schedule, where you can be up at the Capitol again on the 20th of February, that is when they are doing the Senate hearing. So I'm going to try to share my screen here and show you how to testify. So that would be, like I said, the best thing that anyone can do. I just signed up myself. So I'll plot this link into the description as well. But once you get to this page, you just click in person here. In person, we'll refresh that. Technical difficulties. In person. You know what? We're going to load a new page. So that is the exact link I'll give you. So in person, and then by bill and sponsor is the easiest way to find this. So the bill sponsors are Weissman, and you would click February 20th at 2 p.m. And then there is the bill in its entirety. And then you just go through here and put all your information. So, name, email, address, etc. for, against, neutral. Hopefully you're against, but if you're not, let's have a conversation. So that is how you do that. I'll again post that link in the description. If you have questions on this, please let me know. Another thing that it has some weight and some bearing, emailing your local representatives and just saying like, hey, are you aware of this? We are against this for this, and this reason. So like I said, it seems like a lot. It is, but hopefully there's enough support against this where it does get stopped. So if you have any questions, please reach out. My information will be in the description also, and hopefully we can get this thing turned around. Thank you for listening to all that, and we'll see you in the next one.